What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Town Hall Meeting with the Mayor. I am your host, Eugene Man Roberts, and we are at 808s While You Wait, sponsored by Rolling and Rolling Live Studios. Hey, so this episode is pretty cool because we're gonna touch on a couple of things that we haven't before. But before we get into the newer things, I want to start off with one of my Philly guys. You know, I got so many Philly guys. These are my people. But this guy is a solo artist. He's a pianist, keyboardist, sound designer. Works with Summer Walker. Works with LMA. Many more. Give it up to my guy, Larry Lambert.
That's good.
Yeah, y'all. Another hometown hero. He kind of you know what I'm saying? He kind of do the Atlanta thing, but he really feel it. You see the P's on the hat because that's what he do.
Yes,
Bro,
sir.
Larry, what's up with you, bro?
What's good, bro? How you?
Man, I can't complain, you know. Just getting a chance to catch up with people. I was talking to Trey earlier, your cousin. I was talking to him.
Word.
But outside of that, bro, I've been good, man. I really been good. Staying busy.
Yeah.
Just
I
staying
see you changing up in there a little bit.
Yeah, you know, this is my little temporary little setup till I get the lab actually built. So
Right.
I'm working on. I got my little MC, got my MC, got my MC.
Oh, okay. I see.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
man, so what you been up to? You are one of the people I know that literally probably makes music every day, like, and I love it. But like, so what you been up to?
Man, I've really been trying to stay busy, man. It's as crazy as it's been. It still has been a good year.
Yeah.
You know, especially musically for me, because my first approach to it was to like create.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I've been on a road for like the last 3 years straight, and I haven't really kind of been able to do that. So like just to have this time to be home, just be like I can just put all this content together.
Yeah.
Like all this time, then once I go back out and just release it whenever I want to release it, and like it'll keep me relevant even while I'm on the road and stuff like that. And I just keep making stuff. I've been having time to make stuff and still been working here and there, doing stuff just with the artists that I work with. Summers still like do the live stream video recording stuff. The artist Baby Rose, she's still doing some stuff. Ella's in album mode. So we was already on break with that anyway. So that's cool. But other than that, just really focuses on my stuff right now. Working on a volume 2 of my mixtape.
If y'all don't know, he always got the dopest mixtapes, the vibe music, the drive music. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do a little something else to music, you know, he got that music. But so let's talk about, you mentioned a couple different artists. Let's talk about the mentality and what you had to learn to be able to switch modes between artists and just how they are musically, how they are on stage, and just like, you know, and they're not all the same musically. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, what's crazy is my biggest gig is my easiest gig. My hardest gig is the one that I do with Baby Rose is that's my hardest gig because of how in tune she is with the music. You know, with Ella, she is she's really hands on with it, but she understands like everybody's position, so she let everybody do their job. Right. And she understands.
Those are the best artists.
Right, she's like, I'm not really that musically inclined. I just know what I like. But since you are, she let the music people do the music.
Right.
And it just makes it easy in that sense. But with Rose, she has like certain sounds that she wants. She has certain breaks that she wants. Certain like I remember I hit you one time because I was using the Jupiter for a gig and I needed to figure out how to detune. Like she likes like I'm detuning stuff and layering and creating like sounds and stuff just for her. Yeah. That I use just for her stuff. On top of her music being like I guess I would call it like the abstract or experimental like R&B is. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it ain't 4 chords or 3 chords. It's real like parts on top of real sounds that I kind of like that's probably my hardest gig, and it's my newest gig. I've only been on that gig since March or February, and we still figuring it out, and it's very challenging. I like it though. I really do like it. And with Summer, it's different. Summer is more of a vibe. She play something, if we can vibe, let's make it happen. And that's kind of how it goes. It's like, that's just vibe. Like, it's just a vibe. And that's how
I call that a rapper. I call that a singer that operates like a rapper. Like the vibe people. Like I love working with like artists where like in soundcheck you start a vibe and they start freestyling, and it's just like, you know, it kind of just give you this like this warm feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like when they like vibe with it, and then they just like, all right, stop that. Like, can we just get in the rehearsal? Like, you know what I mean? It's just different.
More stuff come from that I learned too. Like even with that, like vibing with Summer got me production credits with Summer, because she's like, oh, this is so good, let's make this a song. Like, so like just stuff like that. It's really dope. Like it's all different with the artists, but they all got their own little thing that like I really respect and appreciate about them.
So coming from what I would call like a solo artist, because you with your Larry Lambert project, you are the artist, you know what I'm saying? What's your approach on separating your mentality of, because I know, because we talked about this earlier before you even started doing so many gigs, it was just like the mentality of flipping that switch from being an artist to playing this gig or whatever, you know?
It was challenging, to be honest, because before I started, like I never did it before. I never even practiced to do it. Like I wasn't like preparing to tour. Never. I was always preparing to just do my own thing. Since I started, I just do my own thing. So like, even with like, I remember when I first got I started. My first one was probably I with Spain, and that was more like freelance. The only thing, I like you for you. And I worked for that. And then I did some guy named Alexi. And then when I did the Summer one, it was like, there's certain stuff that you have to just automatically know that just has nothing to do with the music that I didn't know nothing about. So I had to like, musically it was easy, but to be able to go from it being about you and you being about the team was totally different, because it was like, it was stuff like knowing like where I should have my pack at just on regular. Like it's like stuff like that, or knowing when like my pack is dying, when to, you know, or just knowing how to like cue the person, or like knowing what a slate was, like never even heard what the word slate was, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. And it was just like, but
all the things that you don't really, like you said, you don't really know. A lot of people see people on stage, but they don't understand the prep work of what it takes. You know, it's times where you might go on tour in October and the tour sold out in June, and you ain't even get a set list yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is just like, it's so far in advance that you're preparing. But I think it's cool that I get to, like, I enjoy watching like a person like you grow in this whole thing, because it's like, you don't take the conversations for granted. Like you take the learning curve and you really do it. And I think it's really amazing for you to do that and not let go of who you are, especially creative wise, and just putting your own music out. And like you said, building your content. I think for me, I just want to make sure I stay at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? When the world opens back up and we go back into touring and all of that, I want to, like, my promise to myself is that I'm going to stick to the hunger and stick to what I've been doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully, like, that's how you feel too. But it's like, this pandemic shows people that, like, yo, you can actually work a lot from home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it makes you realize that you can do more with your time. You know?
And how much more you're needed outside of on stage. Like, you realize that, and it's crazy. And it's like, damn, like, people still, like, stuff is still going on every day, no matter what shut down. And it's like, music never stopped, even if performing did, you know? And it's like, it's so much music that still needs to be done out here, from commercials to jingles to people putting out their own songs, and it's all production. It's like, if you just get 2 people who work on an album, you good. Like, you kind of good. And it's like, it's you wouldn't even have those opportunities being on the road, making what you know you're going to be making every week for this amount of time. Like you can't really negotiate. You can't really do what you want to do. Like you can't.
Yeah, you locked in.
Yeah, you locked.
Mm-hmm.
You locked. So for you, like you've been doing this for a long time. Like, do you ever feel like, all right, I'm done with the road stuff? Like,
I've felt like that a few times, but what keeps me going is that, John is my consistent gig.
mm-hmm.
And when we get these breaks, I get to work with other people. So it kind of gives me a different viewpoint, you know what I'm saying? Like of traveling, not traveling. But yeah, every now and then I get to that, like, I'm done. But then I'll be like, I want to travel. Then it's like, I'm done. But this has been a good break for me. Like it's been great. Like, and even for you, like, you got your daughter, and it's like you get a chance to spend time with your family, and you get to be creative, and you get to, be home. But yeah, to answer your question, sometimes I do get that, like, especially, I think it really happens when you tour Europe. When it's like the time's different. Like, see, when I first started touring, there wasn't no overseas international unlimited phone plans. Like everything was $2-3 a minute, 50 cents a text message, and like, now it's a little easier because you communicate more, and I know more people in different places. But I did go through a period of time where it was like, yo, I don't think I really want to do this anymore. But I didn't know like how I was going to sustain life outside of it either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I like I said, I go back and forth with it. Right now, we ain't got no choice but to be home, which is great. So it's giving me some time. And I enjoy the time. Like I said, I enjoy it. But I think the thing that, like I said, that just takes me in and out of it is just the fact that I go from gig to gig. Like, John is like a sense of completion, like everything is really organized. We got techs, we got we had the same engineers for almost 10 years, same band members for years, like that's home, Then I go off, I do a Ro James, and I come back. Then I go off and do a Nicole Bus, then I come back. Then I go do a Chromeo, and I come back. So those different things, like you play different size venues with different people. You go to different cities with different people. It's just different, like, So I think that's the thing that kind of kept me from being like, the hell with this,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you feeling like you kind of. How are you feeling about it?
It's crazy, man. It's like I'm so indecisive because like I love it, like I really do, like the road, and just the experiences. I know, my last one when we did the Europe run, like I vowed to like actually take it in, like outside of just going on stage and going to sound check and blah blah blah. Like I planned like my day. What I did was, because I'm like high into fashion and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it a thing to like find like the top like streetwear boutique stores in every place I went, and like that would take me damn near all day. Like just figuring out how to get around, like talking to people. And
I think that's what I didn't do my first couple years of touring. Like it was partying. It was, but then the thing is, it wasn't no Uber. It wasn't like.
They started way younger than me. Like
yeah,
I was on tour knowing that I got a kid coming. So like my whole mental was at 27 though. Like I'm 28. I'm like, hold on. Everything was like. I was already an adult with like real life shit. I'm touring and I got a kid. And it was kind of like, but I know at 17, 18, it wouldn't have fucking mattered. You know what I'm saying? It would have been like, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, and again, like it's like imagine being in Germany or somewhere you don't have no phone service, you don't have Uber, you don't have none of that, and you like I want to go out on the town. No, that's how I say you gonna end up at the hotel bar because you ain't trying to get lost, you ain't trying to not get back, you know what I'm saying? So we wasn't really as adventurous as we could have been, but as the time went by, and I think that's the other thing too to answer your question earlier, like it was just different touring. before. You know, now it's just like I have a better perception of how to tour. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes it. Like now I have a whole another set of goals when it comes to touring. You know, by the time next year, like I want to have my own bus. You know what I'm saying? I want my own bus. I can bring my family. I can have my studio in the back. Like, you know, that's just a different mentality of be able to tour.
Right.
Because I know now I can facilitate everything I've been doing at home, whether it's videos, whether it's editing, production, or anything like that. Because, yeah, we can make beats in the hotel room, but it's like when you got your space at home or you got your space that's always your workstation, it makes you just operate a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I'm kind of like going for. So, I don't know. Pretty cool, though. So, I got a question. What's like your dream gig? Like somebody you would love to – we'll go dream gig and then we'll go collaboration. Somebody that you just like, I have to collaborate with this person.
Dream gig. My dream gig would probably be playing with either D'Angelo or Bilal.
I can see that.
They like probably my top favorite artists. And the band outside of just them, like the other people in the band is kind of, it's like, whew.
All legends.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I had a chance to play with Pino and Chris Dave, man, and it was just like, not only did not only to play with them, but it was just like I was the MD. So it's like MD and your heroes is like, it's like mind blowing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to this day, like me and Chris, we talk once a week. Like we talk all the time just because it's like the vibe was just so dope. You know what I'm saying? And like, and it kind of made me realize how to look at certain types of people as well, you know? Because when the younger people and the people that are not so much legendary, we can say that, when they have different egos and attitudes and just the way they treat people, it's just like, man, I just MD'd a band with Pino Palladino and Chris Dave. Like, and Rashid and Bananas and like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, I'm like, hey, Pino, can you play A? Oh, yeah, I'll play A instead of A flat. Cool, whatever you want, you know? Or, hey, Chris, can you play the rim shot in a floor tom instead of the snare? All right, cool. Like, some of the guys, it's like, yo, bro, can you play the snare instead of the pad?
Nah,
It's like, bro, like, are you kidding me? You know, so it's just working with Questlove, working with Adam, it's just kind of crazy, like, to work with legendary people. And it's just like, and to get calls back from those people. Like, that's what you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of like, you know, they say like certain things shouldn't really have to validate you, but I'm sorry, that was a validation for me because it was just like having them
major.
Yeah, it's major. Dream collaboration.
All right, so a little disclaimer: being a keyboardist, I don't really like working with other keyboardists to play. I don't like playing with other keyboardists on record. You know, more so like if I know like for example, we did one and you did vocoder on it for me.
Yeah.
I still I like that type of stuff, but as much as I'm like being a keyboardist and love like keyboard players, and would like to know what it would sound like if we did play together, like I still wouldn't do that, like even to this day.
Yeah. So I wouldn't even think you was gonna say a keyboard player. Honestly, I'm thinking it's gonna be something random, like a xylophone player or something like that. But
like, so as a musician or just like in
general, like you, Larry Lambert, who would you want to collaborate with? Period. You could be a producer, singer, songwriter, musician.
Right now, it would probably be either Little Dragon or Hiatus Coyote.
I can see that.
Yeah, because I feel like they're like electrical feel, and it's like I love sounds, but I still love like the feels, and I feel like whatever we could do, it'd be some cool shit, like some cool stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm a big fan of them. And Moonchild. Actually, I have a song with Amber.
Hey,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
You hear that? I always wanted to I always have this wild imagination. Like, I really want to work with the Gorillas. Sorry.
Oh,
I just find it mesmerizing that people that don't exist can sell out arenas. Like, like,
and they're like those the anime.
Yeah, the screen, the cartoon as the band.
Yeah.
The other people on stage are part of the band, but it's like the Dave Matthews Band. Like, it's like you got Carter.
They've been doing that for so long.
Yeah,
they've been so big for so long.
Yeah, that was always like my like, and I almost adapted that with when I had the band The Kitchen. I almost adapted that. I was like gonna have like cartoon versions of me on the screens playing along with us. Like, that was my goal. But I just never took the time to set up all of the playback and the video routing and all of that. But it ain't far fetched nowadays. Like, I think I'm gonna tap back into it and figure it out. Do like a cool green screen.
They're major. My cousin put me on when I was a buck.
Mm-hmm.
And like that, their visuals just to like listen and watch, and the music is good on top.
And the music is good.
It's like, man, this is like really decent. Like, this is some cool hard stuff.
Yeah.
Their imagery was sick. They constantly like to watch them on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Like, they concerts were crazy.
And it's kind of I'm scared, but not scared. I'm interested to see where the world goes with technology. A lot of people, I don't know about you, but throughout this whole thing, like pandemic, I've been learning other trades. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, figuring out cooler things to do. Like, I was already tapping into video editing and different things, but I've been like more forced to do mixing and syncing video and lighting and like coming up with cool things because, I mean, we got time on our hands, and not only that, we don't have like that much access to people right now because,
right.
You know, and shout out to you because you are one of the people that I love for the factor that like you own gear. So many people aren't doing content because they just don't own gear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They can't go to that studio they always go to. They can't borrow their homie gear. They can't go to the homie crib because, you know, they folks ain't letting nobody in because of COVID. You know what I'm saying? It's just like so many different things. Like, you know what I mean?
remember you was telling me to do that. I remember a minute ago you was telling me, own your stuff, keep your stuff. Don't sell and trade it. Keep it, save up, and get something else. Keep it because the biggest thing you told me was like, as soon as you get to where you want to be, people gonna be renting your stuff, and you're gonna be making more than one check. And now, like, I have the option to take my stuff out or not now, and I can tax them whatever I want to tax them.
Yep, even if it's just one out of the 3 keyboards or 2 out of the 3, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, and that's just part of knowing the business. Like you said, when you started touring and knowing about slates, knowing about in-ears, where to leave your pack. Oh, you want me to leave my pack at the end of the keyboard,
right.
At the end of the night? Oh, all right. So you want me to make sure I put my ears on before I get on stage? Like, you know, those type of things. Like, and it's all part of the grand scheme of performing and touring. And a lot of people don't understand there's more avenues than just playing your instrument and learning the songs. You know, I'm sure you've learned that time and time again. Being on tour throughout your whole day, you barely on the stage. You barely at the venue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just a part of that life and part of that lifestyle, man. So I know you said you're working on another project. When you feel like you're gonna drop like at least like a little snippet, a little single, a little something.
Well, I'm looking to drop something before the year is out.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing little collabs with other artists and stuff like that, just doing little singles and stuff for their stuff. Waiting for them to put it out so I can help push that.
Yeah.
While I'm working on my joint, but I'm just waiting on a couple more files from some people, and as soon as I get it done, I'm putting it out. I don't like sitting on my stuff. I like to put it out.
Yeah, get it out of there
and be on to the next one. And like I've been working on 2 at one time, so like. Once I put this one out, I'll have that other one in
that follow up
when it's time. And
well, just leave me a couple tracks to jump in there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you already know.
Break the talk box out or something. You know what I mean?
And this one is super special to me because You already know, like, I always was the type of person who would just ask. Like, I will always just ask. My heroes, like, between, like, my last one I did, I had, like, you on it. I had Spank you guys. And with me just doing more work, and the more work you get, the more connections you get, the more network
Relationships.
right. And I'm in a better place than I was then. So I know more people and have relationships with better people. And now I have even bigger heroes that I didn't have like the connection, like, you know, how I could contact you. Then like now the same contact I have that I could do with you, I could do with them too. Just because of where I am now.
Yep.
But I have no set release, but I'm not. It's nothing I plan on sitting on. I'm like, as soon as I can get it done.
Basically, when the time is right.
I just want to put it out. It's good. I feel like it's real Philly based. This is my last mixtape. I'm done with mixtapes. I think I want to start working on an album. But outside of that, I think it's gonna be really good. And it's crazy because the approach that I had for it, it was more so just making beats and just hearing what other singers, rappers, or musicians' approach would be to it. But every time like I would add something, a new element to it, it would just unlock another idea to just that was different from it. Like for example, I have Dad on the track, right? Okay. And him and Jermaine, I had Jermaine Poindexter who played with me with Elliot.
Yeah.
I have them two on the track. But when I first made the track, I originally and my homie Stanley Collins, who played in the LLP with me, on guitar, and I had them on the track. And when I first originally made the track, and I sent it to them, I sent them the reference with drums and all that, bass and everything. And I told him, like, approach it how you want, even if you don't hear it this way, it's cool. Like, and what Jermaine sent me a total different approach that made me want to, like, ask Dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even have that mindset to do. I was like, oh, well, this sounds like something like he would do. And it was just a leap of faith of just asking these things because it's like it's only.
Talk about that. Talk about not being scared to reach out to people and build relationships.
You learn the real would attach and the fake would just go. Like, and that's kind of what I learned. Like, over time, it's like you're gonna ask people, and then genuine people, they don't got nothing to do with music. Genuine people just will respect you as a person. And that's what I learned from people. Like, just to have the respect to just answer the phone or to respond or to tell you they can't do this or they can't do that, like, or just to say no, like, versus like none of that. And
just ignoring you, leaving you on red.
Yeah, and it's like I understand, I get it. I get, like, I know the busiest people now at this point, you know, and it's like the busiest people. Yeah, you know, it's like people like Adam or people like James Porter. Like, I could text them dudes and they'll respond, and it's like it's some people who's not even half of their caliber who just got so much aura. And
but I deal with that sometimes when I be trying to get people to do certain gigs and stuff. It's like I'll hit them and then just be like, bro, it's been 2 days. I'm just trying to get you paid. Like
right.
I'm not beg you to get you paid. Like, all right, well, I'll call somebody else. And then you see them and they be like, yo, why you ain't hit? It's like, bro, I'm not. I got, you know, me, I'm the person that I believe this. And this includes you. Like, everybody's somebody's hero. You know, and our job is to be that person's hero and let them know that they can reach out to their hero.
Right.
You know, because by the end of the day, all we got is each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you already know, I told you day one, like, I'm here, whatever you need. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like, and you know me, I don't just say it. I'm here. Like, you know?
Right. Yeah, I remember that shit. My college dorm, I remember the conversations we used to have, bro. On Facebook, on MySpace, like, I remember them joints. Just reaching out. We didn't know each other from a can of paint, but it was like it was somebody who I looked up to who was doing what I was doing. So I reached out, and you was a genuine dude, and it had nothing to do with music. And like, we've been cool since. I was trying to check and all that for you over there. Like, we just been cool, just on some genuine cool. I came by the crib when I was telling you I was having a kid. Like, we cook, we grill, like we do whatever. Like it ain't had nothing to do with music. It was whatever. And it's like that's the type of stuff that keeps me like I just ask if the person with it, they with it. If they not, it's cool because it's people who will do it and it's people who won't.
Yeah,
and now like where I'm at with it, it's crazy because a lot of young people, they be hitting me up now, like hitting me up, asking me this and the third, and you would think it's overwhelming, but it only take a little bit of time. You know, it's you might get, I know I get some crazy stuff. People ask me, kids and stuff, ask me a bunch of, can you send this to someone if you do that and something, and it just be like, I just like, no, I can't, or I'm not in that position. Like, just to let them know.
Some stuff I just be like,
yeah, and some stuff you just don't even.
Some stuff it'd be like, man, did you ask anybody whether it was smart for you to do this?
Right.
Like, the common thing I get is like, yo, man, if you got an old keyboard, you don't want it no more. I'm like, bro, if it's an old keyboard, it's now vintage, which means
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. Like, I work hard. You talking about? Like, I'm literally like, I don't know, man. But before we get out of here, bro, I just want to, like, commend you on, first of all, like, fatherhood, man, because that's dope. A lot of people, you know, it hits them out of nowhere and they don't really know how to deal with it. And I know when you first had your youngin', it was just like you was kind of starting getting heavy in the torn. And I was like, man, I miss my baby, boo boo. So now you got a little time, and now she know who daddy is. So now she know what daddy do for work, and you'll be able to travel a little bit in and out, and it'll be cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So first, I want to commend you on that. Second, I want to commend you on just being consistent, bro, because like you really are consistent with not just who you are as a person, but just who you are musically, just your vibe musically, and always wanting to push to be better. And you're not afraid to pay homage and, you know, like give credit where credit is due. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And you keep growing and getting better and better. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm always going to be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? For you, bro, you already know. I'm always going to be here. I'm here to collaborate, whatever you need. You already know. You got a question, you know, whatever, boo, boo, boo. I'm here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So before we get out of here, bro, let the people know what's going on, how to reach you, and yeah.
All right, so I'm Larry Lambert II. You can reach me at Larry Lambert II _ 2 lowercase i's. Currently producing right now, working on some records, working on my own record, collabing with different artists and stuff like that. If you need anything, you can hit me musically. And outside of music, just another thing which is really important to me is being able to talk to people. You know, and I was blessed with a gift outside of music to just to talk to people and just to try to instill wisdom and to help people. And that's bigger.
That's what we do.
That's bigger to me, you know, and that's just bigger to me to like when people reach out and they got a question and stuff and it turns into something that's outside of music. If you just want to talk or if you're going through something like blah, 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 like I'm here to talk about that type of stuff too. Like, because life goes on, even with this stuff going on, it's like, I can't imagine what everybody else got going on because of what I got going on. But a conversation can make it just a little bit easier, a little bit more to, you know, get through the day. So if it ain't music, if you just want to talk, I'm with that. I do the music thing too. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it. New music coming soon. Summer come. I taped Jimmy Fallon with Summer. That's airing probably this week or next week. And I arranged that.
By the way, when he says Summer, he talking about Summer Walker. When he talking about Ella, he talking about Ella May. You know, John, Ella. You know, we get that.
Remember we did the Get Together in Aruba.
Yeah, boy, that was fun.
Yeah,
that was good. And and those are those special moments that people really, you know, outside looking in, you can't know what that feels like. You gotta be there to know, like,
it was crazy.
All the homies is here, and we on the stage, and we like.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. To you, my guy, you stay true. You're a real person, and that's really what's important. Outside of music, you've been you and Spanky has been like my number one inspiration since I came up. And like to be able to have this conversation with you and him, It's the same thing with him too. That it's really inspiring because it's just what I want to be for people younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what I have been. It's no aura with y'all, it's no aura with me. And you can tell, like, you know what's for you, so you don't got no problem helping nobody else.
Yeah,
and that's just kind of what I'm trying to get at. And people got a big problem that people don't want to see nobody eat. People want to, tear you down. Like, all right, you good, you great, but you gotta get there on your own, brother. And it's like, you can have my spot because I know it's something else for me anyway. If my spot open, shoot, you can have it, bro. Like,
I always say 9 out of 10, a person that's talking trash or hating on somebody, whatever they're talking about, the person they're talking about ain't even worried about that thing that you hating on them about.
Right.
So if it's like, oh yeah, well, the way he played, well, yeah, I'm not even thinking about playing. I'm thinking about making a movie. I'm thinking about, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you said, what's for you is what's for you, and can't nobody really take that away. So, man, we're going to get out of here, bro. Once the new music drop and all of that, bro, we bring you back on here, bro. We share some content and do what we do. But, Larry, thank you, bro, for joining me, man. Until the next time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
I'ma show you how to get it and go right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. Basically I'm saying either way we bout to slide. Hey, can't let this one slide. Don't you wanna dance with me? No, I could dance like Michael Jackson. I could get you love, hey. Sure. It's a thriller in the track. Where we from? Baby, don't you wanna dance with me? No, I could dance like Michael Jackson. I could get you satisfaction. And you know we out here every day with it. I'ma show you how to get it and go right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide.
All right, so this next guest is very special. We've known each other for a long time. He used to be our modern engineer, then he left, then became a front house engineer, but jack of all trades. He's amazing. But Paul Klimson and his wife Courtney Klimson, they started something called The Clinic, and it's about mental health and awareness and just a support system for, the crew members, the roadies, the techs, everyone that travels and tours for a living. And we go through different things that a lot of people don't know about, and things we just gotta button up and make sure people don't know because it might throw the show off or whatever. So we hold a lot in. Then they built this safe space for people to come and just get it together and get right. So please pay special attention to this and make sure you look up The Clinic. So here we go. All right, Paul, what's up, my guy? How are you today?
Well, I find myself behind a console, so that's a good thing on, September 8th of 2020.
Yeah, you've been behind a lot of consoles in your life, so I guess it's good to be back behind the wheel.
Yeah, had to find the on button again.
Right. Are you finding yourself getting acclimated well? Are you good? You ain't forget nothing?
It took a couple days to get the mechanics down of what we do, but luckily it was all rehearsals, so that was a good way to ease into it. The band was super cool. The COVID part, once we went from rehearsals to shows, was a whole new world. So, But after a couple days, this starts to feel normal, and getting things shoved in your nose is not like we start rating the nurses who've done it for us because there's been so many.
Whereas you weren't as good as that other person, but you are right. So we know right now we just in a different time. So I really wanted to bring you on to talk about The Clinic that you and Court started. And I'm going to let you just take it from here because I think it's really important that people know what's going on.
So we hatched this idea last July, but it's kind of been, in the formation for 20 years. Court's been married. We've been married for 16 years of my touring experience. She saw me go through the van and trailer days, the bus with the trailer, the chasing the main artist as the opener and not getting to sleep. And, and you get all the growth has just been steady since day one. You and I met in 2005, 6, and that was the first, growing pains of pressure working for a large artist and never having done it before. But we all grew up together doing that. That was the best part of that story. Right. And she's just been watching the whole time. And about a year ago when we played the Sicily gig up on the ruins, she sat in the hotel room and wrote this story of being a roadie's wife. And the more people who read it, we started trusting people and floating the idea out. And the more people who read it, especially J.O., your monitor engineer, he's like, you got to make this a real deal. And it was just mostly surveying the things that lacked as a roadie, because we're behind the scenes. It's about 50 years into the industry from when people were first chasing people around carrying speakers in the van. Brothers, chasing for the Four Seasons around. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a turning point. And she just wanted to build a place where roadies could come, get some training in communication and get some therapy for anything they're going through, because the road just keeps going. And you just stick it in the backpack and you keep walking. And after a while, with this break, it proves it that I was burnt out completely for at least 4 years. Yeah. And you're just operating at that 10%. You never get, and we're good at it. We're good at
there's no stop. We just plow through.
And you tuck it away, and then it comes up wherever. So we heavy on the therapy. We want to make families important, because the moment you walk out the door with your bag, you're working, and you get a call before the show, you can't take care of it, and it just kills you. So we're going to develop all these programs. She's doing it right now. COVID put us into overdrive. We're going to take our time and fashion this over the year. I was going to be out working, with you guys and Drake and Alicia, and that was going to fund the build. But we pivoted, and it was the best thing ever. We're in front of so many people now because everybody's sitting home talking about it, and everybody has time to evaluate. And so people have spoken into the programming. We've had people just get the bug and show up and be like, I want to work on this part of it. I want to work on this part of it. And it's just fun seeing that little.
If I wasn't see, I'm not kind of doing the flying thing right now, but count me in to come help. I'm doing something. I can rock. I'll paint. I'll talk. I'll be support. You know me. I'm here.
You're fan.
Jeez. Man, I was having this conversation about just relationships and how right now this has been a good time to reach out, communicate, rebuild them, or just build them and just kind of help be great, because artists are going to continually come, but us, the band, the MDs, the engineers, the techs, the lighting directors, we seem to work with an artist, we make them great, and we do another artist, we make them great, we come back, we make another artist, and it's just like we are the consistent thing, the label in us, and I really just can't. The clinic that you guys are doing is just so incredible, because
the COVID cleaning. Sorry.
Oh, see.
Sorry. She cleaned the doorknob.
See, he's on the job, guys. He's on the job right now.
Yeah.
He probably can't tell you what he's doing, but he's doing the job.
Just doing the job.
Just doing the job. Man. So as far as the clinic, what would you say is your favorite thing about it?
Man, to start was we bought a building. This idea wasn't just we want a website. We want a website, but we wanted a place that actually existed that people could come to.
Not a virtual clinic.
No. So this is a building in Niles, Michigan. It's on the 80-90 corridor. It's about 15 minutes north of South Bend. I've been past that exit at least 200 times in my life. And we would love a bus to come in, stop by, bring the crew into our building. We can house 13, which is a bus plus a driver. Family dinner, chop it up. Here's the a la carte menu of the services. You want to go walk the river. You want to go to the 24-hour gym next door with the key card. You want to rent the bikes. You want to go canoeing. You want to talk to the therapist. She'll come over, and we have soundproof booths in the third floor being designed. You just pick what you want to talk about, balancing the checkbook and knowing how that works. What's retirement feel like as a roadie, contracts, all that stuff, resume help. So yeah, people show up, we figure out what they want to partake in,
right,
and plug them in.
Wow. So the good thing is, after this, I want to do another one of these, and I want to get a couple more, people involved. We'll get J.O. on, and we'll get some other people, because I really think this is important for people to know exists, because of course we know it didn't exist. You take all your problems and you wear them on your shoulders. You see how many times Kristen hung out with you at the monitor console. Everybody, Chris is my son. But how many times Chris has hung out with you at the console, because the reality of it is we still have to live our lives outside of doing our jobs.
Yeah.
And our relationships and our friendships are what would assist that, because without that, we would be kind of handcuffed with what we can do. It's a lot of limitations, and it's more of a mental thing. Like you said, if a show is about to start and you find out your dog died, or if you find out your house is, about to flood, it's just do you not unmute the console?
Yeah. No, you just do the show, and that's why we're all professionals,
Yeah. What's one of the bigger goals you guys have with the clinic?
I would love, and we started off, obviously, this went hyper speed once we hit March, but we started off just wanting to do Niles and had one spot. And the moment some big players jumped on our board, we got Chris Gratton, who does Justin Bieber's production, Mike Fallow, who's security for Timberlake, and I think he did Korn and Backstreet and such. And those guys stepped up and said, we need to look at 6 cities: LA, New York, Tempe, Atlanta, Nashville, Vegas, and something out west. And
I mentioned it. Actually, I mentioned it to some of my Live Nation people here. Actually, I mentioned that. So once we get off this, I got to connect you with them like that.
Awesome, thank you. And that's what happens is people keep showing up to the party, and you're like, cool, here's what you can do.
Well, yeah, because we talked about this a couple of times where I'm like, man, I got to get you on. We got to talk about this, and we'll do what we do. I'm going to reach out and make sure, they're watching now. Roland, you got to be a part of this. So
hey,
we get Roland involved. We're going to make sure we get all the proper.
I was just hanging with Brian Fraser yesterday talking about how we can make his roll mixer do more. Get him all the stems right to his drum set. Let him mix his drums and give it to me.
Nope, that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. But I think, like I said, I'm here to help this thing, man. And I just can't wait for it to be a national thing where every city is if you can find a restaurant, you can find a clinic,
Exactly.
And I'm so excited to know you guys are doing this. And like I said, I'm here to help however I can. I want to make this a regular thing with once a month or whatever. We'll just kind of do a PSA and make sure we jump in and let people know about this, because the reality of it is people are at home right now and don't know that this exists and that they have this, and I just want it to be, great, man. Shout out to you and Court, because for real, it takes a lot of just wisdom to go about this, and it takes a lot of courage to actually do it, you two guys, y'all, outside of being husband and wife, y'all just two great individuals, independently, so I think this thing, like I said, it's gonna go crazy because it has you guys have the right intentions and the pure hearts, and you guys are leading with love, and you guys are just just pushing it the right way, pushing it, as you would say, pushing the needle in the right direction.
Exactly.
So yeah, I won't keep you long because I know you got to get ready to go back to work. But I do have one left field question. What's one artist you've always wanted to work with? Your dream gig.
I want to put CO1 on a big stage.
Okay, let's do that. We bring a CO1 on for an episode too. We don't know, what I'm saying?
Baby Chris, man, he's been next to me for 19 years, and now he's doing his own thing, and he's got friends involved. Today we were just talking today. Let's get all the friends together and make a collective, because that's the next generation.
Yep.
The kids coming up. I've checked off all the other boxes on the list. Nope, I mixed print. Sorry. But everybody else, I'm excited what the kids are going to bring up. I hope it challenges us.
Oh, yeah.
Both in music and in the country. The youth are what going to say this right now.
Yep, I agree.
That's it.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first. Paul Klimson, Theory 1, One Theory, Theory 1, Theory 1, One Theory. But, man, shout out to the clinic. We're going to drop some information about that. We're going to put the .coms, the social medias. They are doing a lot of cool online things, promoting it and talking about it. So musicians, tell your tech and your crew members about it. Crew members, tell your musicians about it. Whoever's seeing this, let's do this. Companies that are watching that are involved, Rolling Live Studios, Rolling. Everybody, let's jump on board. We need this. Mental health is important, and we need to make sure we keep people safe. So, yes.
Thank you, man.
Paul, thank you for your time, bro.
Alfonso Hedgeman is our next roadie that we were able to help out in this program. He's a Philly-based backline tech, a single dad of a 9-year-old son, and an all-around great guy. When we work together on the shows, his side of the stage is just immaculate. He's always smiling, jumping in when necessary. He keeps me informed of what's going on, which is amazing for an engineer to have those set of eyes. Team player, just works really hard. When his name came up when we were reaching out to find people, I was so excited to jump on getting him funds to help out with his family. This is Fonz.
Everybody who I talk to, just trying to maintain, trying to figure out, what's going on. Everybody just hoping something opens up where somebody get a 9 to 5 or something. It's just creating, and it's been rough, but God has been blessing and being a dad and a 3rd grade teacher right now.
Yeah. So the wife and I have started a nonprofit, and through that we became partners with an organization called PAMA, Professional Audio Manufacturers Association, through a friend over IEMITO. And what they've done is they've given us money through our nonprofit to disperse to roadies. And so we chose, we want to give you a check to take care of some things.
It's going to be $500. I know it's not a ton.
Thank you so much.
Something to help with groceries and rents and whatever you need.
Something fun.
Blessing.
Yeah, and listen, our mission in all of this is to empower and heal roadies and their families, right? Mm-hmm. By providing services and resources tailored to the struggles of the touring lifestyle. Now, we are here. If you need anything,
even
whatever it is, you tell us and we'll figure out how to help you. That's what we want you to know. You're not alone. You've got a group supporting you, and we're going to be here. So we're just happy that we can give this to you and your family.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You just do not know, bro. This is a blessing from God. You just do not know, man. You have made me cry, yo. For real.
Yes. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy.
I love y'all. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Love you too, Fonz, man.
So, as you can see, this is really important that we follow up with people and we just get everybody involved in this clinic. I'm gonna do everything I can to support it, so hopefully you guys can too. Well, before we get out of here, you already know we got to check in on our people at home, so #rolling at home. Let's see what you got. Yeah, rolling at home. Hashtag baby. So, people, I want to feature you guys. Come on. Are you sharing? If you are, hashtag rolling at home so we can find your videos so we can share them. So before we get out of here, of course, I want to give special thanks to Rolling Live Studios, Kristen, Brian, Nelly, Joel, Carrie Brown, everybody. I want to shout out Jay Wanamaker today. Shout out to Jay Wanamaker and Igor. These my folks. Shout out to everybody in the Rolling office. But I am your host, Eugene Man Roberts. This has been 808s While You Wait, Town Hall Meeting with the Mayor, and I'm out of here. Peace.